Oh my goodness. Welcome back to Lost in the Dark podcast, everyone. It is so good to be here with you tonight. We got some business to tend to. First of all, this is the first time in a while, in a long, we haven't been as regular with the episodes as we'd normally like to lately, and that's big time due to my fault from, having a lot to do with moving and everything like that. But now pretty much things are settled and should be, starting to get back to a relatively normal schedule. But yeah, it's been a while since I've just sat down solo and done an episode and talked to you guys. So I figured I would tonight. We got some business to tend to. I got some things that I want to talk to you guys about for sure. I guess what we'll do is we'll start with the news. Okay. We got some news stories, some heavy metal news stories that I want to talk about. One, we're gonna start off with some good news. I want to start this episode on a positive note. You know what I mean? I mean, the holidays, to me, in my opinion, the holiday season starts on October 31st. It starts with Halloween, in my opinion. Because think about it, it's like a few months. Okay, so yeah, you got like Labor Day, which you get off work or whatever, school, but it's not a fucking holiday you do something for other than like barbecue or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, one second. So, yeah, you don't really fucking do anything for like Labor Day or Memorial Day other than like chill outside because it's nice out still. I'm talking about holidays you do shit for, like 4th of July, Halloween, Christmas, Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? So, Halloween's the first kind of, big one at the end of the year. It's the one that kicks off the holiday season to me. It always has been that to me. So, yeah, and definitely always been one of my favorite holidays for sure. And we had a pretty good one this year. We did that episode here in the temporary crypt, and I think that actually, full disclosure, the reason why I was only on part of that episode is because I was fucking annihilated. We planned on starting that episode hours beforehand, and it didn't. We were making food, we were having fun, we're chilling. It's us three talking about music on Halloween. I should have had the mics going, I didn't. But yeah, by the time we actually started the episode, I was quite gone, and listening back to it, I'm frankly surprised at how coherent I was at the end of that one. So we're definitely going to do a part 2 here coming up, maybe even this weekend. I'd really like to do it this weekend, hopefully. And hopefully I'd like to have Josh on a regular basis. There's actually a lot of conversations that I would really love to have with him on here. But yeah, the holidays, to me, they've always started in October. And, for a long time, I tried to be, cool or whatever, fucking fuck Christmas, fuck the holidays, all this. But you know what? Fuck that. You know what I mean? I get some people don't like the holidays. I get sometimes, it brings up bad memories and things like that. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about are the people that have no reason to hate the holidays and just do. Just because everybody else is happy or something. I don't know. I don't know what their reason is. But, I like them. Fuck it. I enjoy this time of year. I hate that it gets cold. That's the only thing I don't like about it. But I love Halloween, and Thanksgiving is fun as fuck to me. I love hanging out with the family and watching the football game and fucking, screaming at the Lions losing and I like Christmas. I like getting together with the family, and now, especially now that I'm older, I can be loose. I can get a little fucking tipsy around my family and have, talk, actually have real conversation, have fun, be, a member of the family as opposed to a kid being watched. You know what I'm saying? Now is the point, 29 years old, I feel like this is the point in time in life where the holidays should be fun. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I like it. I don't like that it gets cold. It's a nightmare. And it disgusts me that, if you stand outside for too long, you'll die. But fucking, besides that, I really enjoy it. And if nothing else, look, I really like both sides of my family, and I'm fortunate enough to have a really good family, and I don't see them enough. And so even if it is a pain in the ass, a little bit of a hassle once a year to fucking get everybody together, drive an hour or whatever, this or that, So fucking what? It's once a fucking year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I don't know why I'm rambling about the holidays. I just wanted to kind of... I really enjoyed Halloween, and I don't know. I don't know, feeling a little festive this year, I guess. I don't know. I hope you are too. But anyway, I wanted to get into fucking heavy metal news. Starting off with some good news. The Prince of Darkness himself, Mr. Ozzy Osbourne, has released his first new track in 9 years today. First solo song in 9 years. Now, hold on one second. This fucking thing won't stay lit. Hold on. So, first solo track in 9 years, right? Comes out. It's so from what I understand, according to the article I read, I don't know, all I know is the article I read, and I think it was like Blabbermouth or Metal Injection, where he basically said he did that song a few months back with Post Malone, which I think we briefly mentioned on here, only in the context of we heard that people, we saw the posts, that went viral, right? Everyone saw the posts. I don't know who this Ozzy Osbourne guy is, but Post Malone just put him on the map and shit like that. A bunch of people basically suggesting that somehow Post Malone was giving Ozzy a career at all, and we're completely ignorant of the last 50 years of Ozzy Osbourne. And of course, to a fan, to a metalhead, that's going to drive us nuts. But at the end of the day, let's be realistic. These were fans of Post Malone, and that were saying this, obviously. And these, look, at the end of the day, yes, we all discover our music, right? But if you're a fan of but today's different, all right? The kids today aren't finding music on the fucking radio, all right? They're finding it online. And if you're a fan of that kind of music, you may never seek out anything that sounds anything like Ozzy Osbourne. So, and your friends may never show it to you. You know what I mean? Think about how much music you only know because someone showed it to you. Someone introduced you to it. You know what I mean? So at first I was real mad, about all this, but then I really started to think about it like that. And I was like, you know what? My anger is misdirected. I should not be upset that these people don't know who Ozzy is. I should be upset at their fucking parents for raising these children to not know who Ozzy is. That's who I should be upset at, these motherfuckers. Like, at the end of the day. I mean, granted, my parents didn't raise me to Ozzy Osbourne, but I was, I discovered him on my own, but it's still the same fucking... Then again, I was familiar with Ozzy my whole life because I grew up with him on the radio. You know what I mean? I was 1 through 10 in the 90s. So, I grew up with terrestrial radio and what was on there. So I knew Crazy Train, I knew fucking Iron Man from when I was... I remember going to the store, looking at the Ozzy CDs, looking at the Black Sabbath CDs, and finding Iron Man when I was like 8 years old. Like, I was... no, I couldn't have been 8 because that was here in Lansing. I would have been maybe 9, 10, 11, somewhere in there. Maybe. You know what I mean? Like, so, yeah, like, that's really what it is you gotta have fucking... A lot of times you gotta have people introduce you to stuff. I don't know. So I don't fault those people for not knowing Ozzy. I fault mainly their parents for not showing them Ozzy. Because we're at that point in time now where it's their responsibility, so fuck it. Anyway, Ozzy does the song with Post... This is according to the article I read. Ozzy does the song with Post Malone, and that inspires him to write a new album. Now, I feel like that song with Post Malone just came out like... Oh, God. I guess, hold on, let's find out how long ago that song came out, because I feel like it was like September, like really recent. Born Post Malone. There we go. Let's see when this song came out. Hold on. September 8th. Okay, so yeah, at the beginning of September. So you're telling me that Ozzy wrote this whole fucking album? Damn. So yeah, basically what he said was he did the song with Post Malone and that inspired him to want to write a new album. And the album is called Ordinary Man. And it's not an exact date, has not been confirmed. What has been confirmed is a release of January 2020. So very early next year. And he dropped a single today. And I have not been able to find anything telling me who the guitarist on this album is, which I find pretty interesting that they're not saying. What we do know is that it's not Zakk Wylde, which famously Zakk and Ozzy have been working together for a long time now, and Zakk even does the Zakk Sabbath, Black Sabbath band cover band. I went and saw that at the Machine Shop a few months ago back in Flint, Michigan. Very good, very awesome to see, and I think Blasko was on bass. It was awesome. But yeah, so they haven't said who the guitarist is. But they have said that the drummer is Chad Smith from Red Hot Chili Peppers and the bassist is Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses. So that's pretty fucking sweet. That's an interesting lineup right there. Chad Smith, Duff McKagan, and Ozzy Osbourne. That's a very, very interesting lineup. But yeah, no word on the guitarist, no exact release date. All we have right now is this single called Under the Graveyard. And oh, wait. Hold on. Recorded in Los Angeles, the album features producer... Oh, Andrew Watt on guitar. My bad. So there we go. And producer Andrew Watt on guitar. Interesting. That is very interesting to me. I think Andrew Watt, if I'm not mistaken, works with Post Malone or something. But yeah. I don't know. I don't really know. I'm not familiar with this guy. Huh. So the new song is out, Under the Graveyard, and I listened to it. You know what? I liked it a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought it was great. Not great. I thought it was really good. Kind of long and slower in the beginning I'm surprised they picked this as a single, put it that way. Like, it's not what you'd think a standard single would sound like. And quite frankly, like, it sounds more let me see here. What does it sound like to me? If I had to just trying to give you a frame of reference. I'd say it sounds No More Tears era Ozzy, more so than Scream or 13 or Scream or Black Rain, which is I believe those are his two most recent solo albums. And Scream, that came out in 2010, like 9 years ago. So yeah, it's been 10 years since new music from solo Ozzy, at least. And you know what? I like the song a lot. I thought it was cool. I am unbelievably excited for the album, and I saw him and Stone Sour last year. It was like September, I believe. I believe it was September something, 2018, and yeah, they killed it. I'm not even a gigantic Stone Sour fan. They sounded way heavier and fantastic live, and Ozzy just came out and dominated. Like, still has not lost a step from the first time I ever saw him in 2007. All right, it's been 12 years since the first time I saw him, and he hasn't lost a single fucking step, and he still sounds incredible. I've heard rumors of lip syncing, but I don't believe it. Like, he does too much banter during the song, so his mic is definitely hot. I don't know, and it sounds different than the album. You know what I mean? It's definitely not lip syncing the album version. That's for sure. If anything, so. But anyway, I don't know why I'm saying doubting don't fuck you if you doubt the Prince of Darkness. Cannot believe I just did even for a moment. It's the Prince of fucking Darkness. It's Ozzy goddamn Osbourne. He's fucking fucking incredible. All right, so I'm so excited for the new album. I cannot wait to hear it. I like the new track. I'm going to listen to it a lot more, get to know it a little bit. But yeah, so there's some good news. We start off with some good news. Ozzy, new music from Ozzy, everyone. That is huge. Now though, we have to go to some bad news. Jesus Christ. This one, all right. This one got me a little bit. I think it was November 1st. So the day after fucking Halloween. All right? Have a great Halloween. Fantastic time. Then you wake up the next day and you get hit with disaster. Headline: Children of Bodom drummer, bassist, and keyboardist all quit the band. What? Yeah, that's right. Meaning the only remaining members are Alexi and the Daniel Freiberg, the guitarist, who has the only thing he's been on. He came on and recorded Hexed, and that's it. He's only been in the band for a few years. He's a new member. So all of the rest of the original members fucking quit. Overnight, it seemingly. Children of Bodom founding drummer Jaska oh my god, I always fuck up his last name. I'm so sorry. Jaska Rakitin, bassist Henry Sapla, and keyboardist Yanni Verman have all announced they are making their December 15th show at the Black Box in Helsinki, Finland, their final show with the band. According to a statement from the band's guitarist Alexi Laiho and Daniel Freiberg, will continue on as Children of Bodom. Quote, "It is with a heavy heart that we announce that 2019 will be the last for Children of Bodom with this lineup. After almost 25 years with Bodom, thousands of shows, 10 albums, it is time for Henka, Jani, and Jaska to step back and change direction with their lives. All three will miss the fans and supporters in every single city and every country the band ever played. The last show of this lineup will be on December 15th at the Helsinki Ice Hall. Tickets remain for some of the Finnish shows in December. Alexi and Daniel will have further announcements about their plans to keep creating new music in the future. Thanks again for everything." And quote. And that's it. That's all we got. This was November 1st. It's November 8th. Sitting here now, that's still all the news we have. Look. Let me explain something to you. Like, I will never forget that. Look, all right, so Children of Bodom to me is for me, they're one of the most important bands ever. To me, Alexi Laiho is a modern day Randy Rhoads. I think he's incredible. He's absolutely one of my favorite all-time guitarists. Every member of that band is one of my all-time favorites at their respected instrument within the heavy metal community. So yeah, I'll never forget the first time okay, so for anyone who doesn't know who Children of Bodom is, they are a Finnish melodic death metal band, and they released a handful. Their name is Children of Bodom, which is based on the Lake Bodom murders in Finland, where the psycho killed a bunch of kids, and they often write, around mythology of that. Their mascot, their version of Iron Maiden's Eddie, if you will, is a Grim Reaper, and he actually has a name, but I always forget it. Damn it, it's a weird name. Maybe I'll remember it in a minute. But Roy, that's his name, Roy the Grim Reaper. Yeah. But so, and then for like metalheads, like you all know, or anyone who follows Children, a lot of people will point to like their first 3-4 albums, however many there were before Are You Dead Yet? I think 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there were 4 before Are You Dead Yet? So the first 4 albums, and then Are You Dead Yet came out, and it was a bit of a change of pace. It was arguably a little bit more. Okay, it was arguably a little bit more mainstream sounding, but it's still fucking death metal. So I don't know how mainstream you can go if you're still death metal. You know what I'm saying? I think this is an example of the fucking like I don't know, the purists or whatever, the fucking genre fucking elitists. There we go. That's what the word I was looking for. So yeah, it became you could say that Are You Dead Yet was a little bit more accessible to a wider audience than the first 4 albums. Now, full disclosure, my introduction to Children of Bodom was Are You Dead Yet? I will never forget the first time I saw that video for Are You Dead Yet? And then immediately after watching the video for In Your Face, the 2 big tracks off that album. And for me, top to bottom, Are You Dead Yet? Still one of my top 10 all-time favorite albums, by far. One of the most influential albums to me ever. It came out, I discovered it right when I was graduating from high school, like my senior year of high school. It was at the exact same time I was discovering Last Kind Words by Devil Driver and Ashes the Wake by Lamb of God. Well, no. So that it actually would have been, I fucked that up. I was not a senior. What the fuck am I talking about? Jesus Christ. I was like a fucking sophomore. Yeah, I was like a sophomore or junior in high school and I was discovering all this shit. So it was just like, and this was the new shit at the time. All right. Up to that point, I'd pretty much only really listened to AC/DC, Megadeth, Pantera, Rage Against the Machine, Guns N' Roses, Metallica, Megadeth, fucking Slayer, fucking like the old Ozzy, Black Sabbath, the old stuff, Quiet Riot, Poison, Motley Crue, older stuff, Skid Row, like the old stuff, 80s and prior. And a little bit of 90s with Rage and Pantera. And I like some System stuff like that, especially the first album. But that was all old. You know what I mean? The Bodom, Devil Driver, Lamb of God, these were the things I were into that were just now coming out, that were new. It was a wave I could actually participate in. You know what I mean? This was my generation. I always wanted to grow up in the 80s so I could see Iron Maiden on the fucking Number of the Beast tour. But I got to see fucking Lamb of God on the Wrath tour and Children of Bodom on the Blood Drunk tour. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know it at the time, but the stuff I was getting to see would ultimately I would end up viewing that stuff the same way I view the Iron Maiden and all, it's all because now they are some of my favorite bands. So that perspective, you know what I mean? So my connection to Children of, like, I'll also never forget the first time I saw them live. The first time I ever saw them live was at a venue in Pontiac, Michigan that doesn't even exist anymore. It's called Clutch Cargo's. For anyone in Michigan, maybe you've been there, maybe you've not. If you haven't been there, but you have been to another venue called St. Andrews Hall in Detroit, they look it's a pretty similar setup on the inside in terms of where you actually watch the show, where there's a main floor and then there's like a surrounding balcony above and the lining bars and all that stuff. Everything else is different, but those few things were the same. So Yeah, we saw. I remember going there. We got in the car with some friends. It was the first time I'd ever been there. It was like 2008. It had to have been fall of 2008. And fucking God, it was it was the Blood Drunk tour. Blood Drunk had just come out, and Black Dahlia Murder was opening. Before, this is 2008 Black Dahlia. You know what I'm saying? And oh my God, like that show was fucking unbelievable. It was fucking unbelievable. Like everything. Everyone was just on point. Everything was fucking perfect. Like it was. Alexi was top notch. They played everything I wanted to hear, except Are You Dead Yet? They actually didn't play Are You Dead Yet for the first like 4 or 5 times I saw them. And Trevor and Dahlia, all of them were so fucking good. Such an amazing show. And that was the first time I saw them. I would go on, to see. I have not since fall of 2008. I have not missed a Children of Bodom show in the state of Michigan. Not one. Never. Whether they were on a festival, whether they were just headlining, whether it was an off date from a festival and they were coming back with the festival a couple weeks later, doesn't matter. If Children of Bodom is in Michigan, I am in that room. Same with Lamb of God. Same with Cannibal Corpse. Same with Hatebreed. Same with Devil Driver. Not as much Devil. Sometimes Devil Driver comes back like 8 times a year, so sometimes I'll miss a Devil Driver show, admittedly. But yeah, same with Dahlia. Same with a lot of bands. And Bodom was one of the first, though. They were one of the first where I remember leaving that show and I was like, I'm never going to miss a Children of Bodom concert in my life. This is something else. To me, this is I'm seeing something fucking crazy, and I cannot believe every single one of these shows aren't sold out. I can't believe they're not playing huge theaters. Like I really don't understand why they haven't. I don't think that they're as big as I think that as they feel to me. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. And so yeah, like I have a deep love and a deep connection with this band and their music, at least. I own every CD. I have all the fucking deluxe editions with the DVDs and all the behind the scenes and everything. Like they're fucking incredible. I love their music so much. It's been there for me for so long now. Like it's just a staple. You know what I mean? I remember learning Alexi Laiho riffs on the guitar. The fact that he uses a Randy Rhoads style V, and Randy Rhoads is my other favorite guitarist. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, it's just fucking all there. And so yeah, to wake up and see that the three of the founding members are gone. Like, and there's no other news. There's nothing else. There's no other information. Nothing. I literally met them earlier this year. Saw them. I've met them twice, but I saw them earlier this year when on the Hext tour. Aaron and I went. We met them, meet and greet, VIP passes. Yeah, like it's so fucking crazy to me. I hope we get to find out what the fuck's going on, what the fuck's happening, and, at the end of the day, it sucks that now Children of Bodom really is just Alexi. Because the other guys were so great, but at the same time, who knows? Who knows? Who knows what happens from here? Who knows why what went down? Who knows? We have so little information right now. All we know is they're gone. That's all we know. So, man, oh man. Like, I remember, you know what's crazy? You know what's oh my God. You want to take this ride with me. I just realized this. Okay, so you all know there are three hosts of this podcast, right? It's myself, Preston, my cousin, and Aaron, our friend. All right, Aaron is the drummer of Bogwraith. How do I know Aaron? I know Aaron because of a band he used to be in called Medica. And the reason why I knew him in Medica is because back when I went to school at Lansing Community College, I swear to God, the class was offered, and so I fucking took it. Rock and roll history. I swear to God, that was a class that was offered. I saw that on the list. I was like, are you shitting me? Are you shit? Yeah, I'm taking that class. Yes, I'm taking that. Yes, I'm taking that class, and I'm going to invent a new grade point average for it because I'm going to dominate it, and I did. So I'm sitting in that class, and I remember one day, this guy I worked at the local hardware store, Eco Hardware, at the time. And this guy I work with, I'm working at Eco, and yeah, this guy I work with, Derek was his name, was in that class with me. And he kind of lived kind of around the corner from me. We all kind of lived close to work, this and that. So he asked me for a ride to work, or to class one day. I was like, yeah, sure, no problem, man. So we're driving to class, and I got on Children of Bodom. I was playing Hate Crew Death Roll. I believe it was the live at Stockholm version. And that day, for whatever reason, part of the curriculum, I guess, or whatever, the teacher asked the opening question to the class. He went around the entire classroom and was like, what music did you listen to on the way to class? Or if you didn't listen to any on the way to class, what music have you listened to, if any at all, today? So he was going around the class. And the first one he gets to is Derek. One of the first, Derek sits in the front row. I sit way in the back. I'm a back of the class guy. All right. I don't like people behind me. I want to sit in the back of the fucking class. I don't know. That's just the way I am. So fucking, I'm back there and I'm sitting next. I got a couple people next to me, whatever. He gets to Derek. Derek, he's like, what did you listen to on the way to class? He turns around to look at me. He goes, honestly, I'm not sure. I got a ride from Burton. Turns around to look at me and goes, what were we listening to? And I cracked a smile and I said, Children of Bodom. And he goes, Children of Bodom, I guess. And I think the teacher asked if that was the band or the song, and I was like, the band, and he asked the song, and I was like, Hate Crew Death Roll. I know I said the words Hate Crew Death Roll, put it that way. I don't remember how we got there, but I know I said Hate Crew Death Roll out loud because the guy next to me leans over and goes, fuck yeah, man, I love that album. And I look over at him, I was like, you see, really? He's like, yeah. I was like, fuck yeah. We started talking. Then I go to my next class, and I swear to God, this is another class. It was a class called Band Management, where they literally teach you how to manage a band. And the teacher, who was a local drum music teacher in the Lansing area, he also was a professional drummer at one point in time. And yeah, fucking, so it was, he had some pretty crazy stories and shit. And the guy that was next to me that leaned over and said, hey, I fucking love Hate Crew Death Roll, was in that class too. So I had two classes back to back with this guy, all on the same general subject matter. And now he's told me we're both metalheads because he knows Children of Bodom. If you know Hate Crew Death Roll, you know fuck Children of Bodom. You know what I'm saying? That's a bit of a deep cut at that point in time. So him and I start talking. And we become friends. His name is, I won't say his name. I don't know if he wants me to say his name or not, so I won't say his name. He has a pretty unique name. I won't say it. But he tells me that he's the lead singer of this band, Medica. I'm like, no shit. That's fucking awesome, man. And so like the classes end, you know, whatever. I don't hear from him. I just figure, oh, he's a cool guy I met in class, whatever. He ends up hitting me up a few months later, going, hey, my band, we got a few shows coming up, and honestly, we were kind of talking about seeing if anybody might want to give us a hand, like, basically being a roadie, because we got a lot of equipment and we could really use some help. And we were going, through some people, and honestly, I remembered you, and I remembered you were pretty cool. So your name came up, so I figured I'd give you a shout if you want to come by and meet the guys and everything, and if you're interested at all, let me know. And I was like, oh, really? Look, he's like, basically you'd get like a free ticket to every show. You can come backstage and, yeah, just you got to help us set up the stage and everything, and unload and load and everything, and get good at it and learn all this, learn all this stuff. It's like, all right, yeah, fuck, yeah, I'll come by, yeah, absolutely. So I came by the fucking band house, and I met the band Medica. No, actually, I first went by. I went with him to the guitarist's house, and just met the guitarist, and I guess he was cool with me. He was a pretty cool guy. And then I met the rest of the band, and yeah, I learned fucking how to pack up all the drums and the fucking guitars and this and that. And I met everyone, and we actually all became like, I still consider, like, we don't talk too much anymore, but I still consider, if I saw any of them in public, I'd be very happy. Like, I still consider all of them friends, because we shared some pretty awesome experiences, and they're really cool guys. All of them really fucking great guys, like, really were. So I end up like kind of working with this band from time to time. Every time they got a show, I'm there. You know what I mean? I'm helping them out, doing this and that. I'll fucking try to sell some tickets for them if I can. You know what I mean? Whatever. One point in time, some time passes. They play some shows. They end up where they even actually opened up for fucking Devil Driver once at Harpo's in Detroit. So I was backstage at Harpo's, and I was on side stage filming them and everything. Fucking insane. So the fucking some time passes or whatever, and fucking the vocalist ends up telling me one day that they are fucking getting a new drummer. And I was like, all right, holy shit, all right. He's like, yeah, you're gonna meet him at the next show. It was this album release show or some shit. It was crazy. Yeah, and I'll never forget it. I was at the house. I don't remember if I think I pulled up. I got out of the car, came out, and we all stood in the fucking driveway for a minute, and there was Aaron. And that was the first time I met Aaron, was that day. And yeah, like from there, fucking we became really great friends, as you all very well know, from listen, if you listen to the podcast, because yeah, he's done more episodes of this with me than anybody else. And we've gone deep into the murky waters. So yeah, him and I are great friends, consider him one of my best friends. And so, but my point with that story is that the only reason why I ever meet him is because I was working with a band he used to be in at the time that he joined that band. And the only reason I started working with that band is because I was talking to the lead singer in class. And the only reason I ever talked to the lead singer in class was because I said I listened to Children of Bodom. So, like, Children of Bodom started a chain of events right there that arguably leads to the existence of Lost in the Dark podcast. Holy shit, I never thought about this until right now. You guys are hearing this fresh out of my mind for the very first time. Holy shit. I gotta tell Aaron this. This is fucking crazy. Wow. It's entirely possible. So, yeah, you know, I'm pretty rocked by this news, to say the least. You know, but yeah, you know, it sucks. I love those fucking, I love that band so much, and to have it, you know, broken up now. I will still follow, you know, if whatever any one of those individual members do next, I will follow it. You know what I mean? I want to know, just like Chris Adler with him leaving Lamb of God. You know, I want to know what he's going to do next. I want to hear it. You know what I mean? But still, it's just never going to be the same. But hey, you know, who knows? Maybe in fucking 10 years, it's a reunion tour. How fucking awesome would that be? You know what I mean? That's fucking epic. So yeah, who knows? Who knows? But yeah, that was some fucking crazy ass news that really blew my mind. I think blew everybody's mind. I don't think anybody saw that one coming. So yeah, rough one. Rough one for sure. But yeah, so I guess I'll go on to the last thing I want to talk about tonight, which is last night I went down to Detroit to see a show. Now, look, I went to see a comedy show last night. And here's the thing. When I go, like, the shows that I am accustomed to, the shows that I go to on a regular basis are heavy metal concerts, right? So what I love about one of the things I love about them is the insane, like, release, you know what I mean, of energy. Like, how, like, when you're just on a normal fucking day, whatever, when you're just driving down the road, fucking, but you got your fucking jam up. You got your, that fucking song that just makes you fucking, that makes you want to fucking go ape shit. That song that gets you going lately, whatever one it is right now in your world, whichever song you're listening to right now in your world, that just fucking hits it. That hits it for you. That feeling, just when you're driving down the road and you're getting the fuck into it, that feeling, right? You know what I'm talking about. When you go to a show, it's that feeling times 1,000, and everybody else is feeling it, and you're not a weirdo for feeling it, and it's amazing, and it's just all positive. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, that's one of the things about going to see heavy metal live. It's unlike anything else. So I think in a way, while it's awesome that we have that, you know what I mean, as metalheads, any of you who have gone to different types of shows may feel the way I feel. Like, every other kind of show I go to, something that maybe is more like rock than metal, or is maybe a rap show or whatever, you know what I mean? I'm always disappointed, not in the performance necessarily, but in the crowd. Because the crowd, I'm used to a heavy metal crowd, And these other crowds don't really do anything. Like, they just kind of stand there. And I don't get that. Like, I don't get not losing your mind, because I feel like on the inside, all these people are losing their mind. They're just not letting it out. But at a heavy metal concert, we can let it out. Is what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I always kind of have a weird time going to other kinds of shows. So if I'm going to go to one, I really want it to kind of like be something. You know what I'm saying? Have a little extra thing to it, in a sense. Something to where I might be able to like compare it to a metal show in some way, shape, or form, whatever. And let me tell you something. The show I went to last night was on another level. All right. The show I went to last night was at the Motor City Casino, and I went to go see comedian Dean Del Rey open up for Joey motherfucking Coco Diaz. Uncle Joey, Mad Flavors World. Fucking Christ. First of all, unbelievably gigantic shout out to Dean Del Rey. Let me explain something to you people. Dean Del Rey is a hysterical comedian, and he has an incredible podcast called Let There Be Talk. He's a fucking metalhead, I would say. He loves fucking metal, and he's interviewed fucking everybody. He's even top to bottom. His latest interview is with John fucking Mayer. And amidst all that and touring with Joey Coco Diaz, I make a couple little, hey, everybody, I'm going to this show tonight posts on my story and everything. He fucking shares them on his Instagram story. Like, that absolutely meant the world to me. Just, like, you know what I mean? Just to fucking... He didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? Like, he just interviewed John Mayer. You know what I'm saying? Like, unbelievable. So he was, and him and I actually went back and forth for a minute on fucking Instagram, and yeah, awesome. Just had me in tears while he was on stage. Absolutely had me in tears. Talking about talked about AC/DC, talked about Joey, talked about, oh my God, like, absolutely fucking hysterical. Very, very funny. Very. And, yeah, so just gigantic shout out to him. Absolutely had me dying. Now, I went to this show with a buddy of mine who, okay, this is a friend of mine, very good friend of mine. I like him a lot, and I hope to trick him into being on the podcast one day. But I don't know if he'd ever do it willingly, just because he's not the kind of guy that likes to be, in any way, shape, or form in like the public eye at all. You know what I mean? Like, he likes to be, he's more of a background kind of guy. That's what he likes to do. So him and I go, and he's also he's someone I would describe as the opposite of a metalhead. Dead opposite. I would imagine that a heavy metal concert is the epitome of everything he wouldn't like in a public setting. Everything that would possibly make him wildly uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? He's, full disclosure, I would say, and I don't think he would disagree with me, I would say, and quite frankly, so do I, and I think a lot of people do. He may or may, I think he would agree with me. I think he may have a couple, slight social anxiety things going on. You know what I'm saying? And quite frankly, so do I. When I'm in a lot of places, I just want to get the fuck out. So, but, I found my home in a heavy metal concert, whereas someone like him hasn't, and it's the epitome of everything that someone like that wouldn't like. And he knows it. So, but at the same time, though, you know, here it is. Like, I love being at those shows so much that I want to share it with people. Like, I want all of my friends to come to a metal show with me and feel the exact same way I feel about it, because to me it's fucking amazing and awesome and incredible, and like there's nothing else like it, and I want to share that with people, and I want them to experience it too. But not everyone's gonna feel that way about that. But that doesn't mean I can't share other experiences, right? So while a heavy metal concert is maybe something I wouldn't necessarily bring him to because I know that about him, a comedy show, that makes sense. So I decided to invite him to the show. I had an extra ticket. I was like, Carl, let's go to this fucking comedy show. He's like, all right. He's not familiar with either of the comedians. I was familiar with both going in. I listened to both their podcasts, Church What's Happening Now and Let There Be Talk. Shout out Dean Del Rey, Coco, Diaz. And fucking, we went to the show and he was raving about it. But I'm getting ahead of myself. But anyway, so yeah, like I bring him to the show and we get there, we walk in, and it's fucking like pretty nice, small, but a real nice theater. We ended up having real good seats right next to the bar, and we could see everything perfectly. Dean Del Rey comes out and fucking slays it. Like, I was laughing off the bat for, I don't know how long he was on for, like 30 minutes, 25 minutes, something like that. I wanted him on longer, though. It was hysterical. I was dying. And then he introduces Joey Diaz and he immediately walks out. And it's like, boom, like off to the races. I think Diaz actually did like a full hour. And by the end of it, we were both absolutely in tears, huddled over. The whole fucking place was dying. Like, Carl was fucking hitting me on the shoulder because he was laughing so fucking hard. He couldn't keep himself together. Like, it was it's, you know, pretty much since like I saw Bert Kreischer or Tommy Boy, have I laughed, has it been since I've laughed for like 2 hours straight? You know what I mean? Like, relentlessly funny. That's funny, funny to the level of chaos in a sense. Like, it's just fucking a thunderstorm fucking a tsunami in a three-way with a hurricane. Funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, Joey Coco Diaz on that stage, I felt like I was sitting there watching the reincarnation of Rodney Dangerfield, George Carlin, and Sam Kinison all at the same time. Like, it was another level. And it was just fucking unbelievable. Like, far and away the funniest comedy show I've ever seen. And I haven't seen that many, but far and away the funniest one I've ever seen. Like, holy shit. I thought Carl was going to need oxygen at the end of that shit. I thought that we were going to have to airlift him because he was fucking dying. Like, it was incredible. And you know what I'm talking about. If you've ever been at a show, your favorite band, and you're in the pit the entire time and you leave, you know what I'm talking about. That feeling, it's almost a high of just intense fucking, yeah, keep going. You want to keep partying, you know what I mean? This is that, but like, there's a high that comes with this. From after laughing for 2 hours straight, you just feel fucking incredible. You know what I mean? Like, it's insane. And Joey Coco Diaz live is as good and comparable to the best of the best metal show. And Dean Delray is right out there. I will never, ever miss a show in Michigan with Dean Delray or Joey Coco Diaz again. Like, those are added to the list. Unbelievably funny. Like, so fucking good. And, yeah, all I can say is you know, look out for dates. And listen to their podcasts. Let there be talking, the Church of What's Happening Now. Like, holy shit. God damn. Like, I can't, it's hard because I can't like dissect it in the same way I can a music show, because I can be like, oh, this song sounded like this or that, you know what I mean? But like, I can't really do that with comedy because I'm not going to give anything away. But fuck, man, it's a great time, and I highly recommend it. I highly recommend Bert Kreischer too, because that show was fucking hysterical as well. But yeah. So yeah, fucking, oh man. So huge shout out to both of them for coming to Michigan, coming to Detroit, even though it's cold as shit. Man, I appreciated all of it so much, and it was just so fucking awesome to finally see, because I listen to I have listened to literally top to bottom every single episode of The Church of What's Happening Now. It's one of my all-time favorite podcasts. I love Joey Coco Diaz to death, and I'm beyond excited for the fucking Sopranos movie that comes out next year that he's going to be in. Like, that one of my most anticipated for 2020, for sure. So, yeah, it's really, really looking forward to that. So, it was really fucking awesome to finally get to actually see him in person, see him live, and see him do what he's always talking about on the podcast. He's always talking about comedy, and to finally actually see him do it. It's one of those, it's like watching Alexi play, it's like watching Ozzy sing. It's like watching Dio sing. It's like he just had Wendy Dio on his podcast. He just had Wendy Dio's wife on his podcast. Metalheads, go back and listen to that episode. It's incredible. Church of What's Happening Now, like 2-3 episodes ago, he had Wendy Dio on his podcast. Watching him do his craft is watching a master work, and you feel it. It's watching Tony Iommi play the guitar. It's watching John Bonham play the drums. It's, oh man, it was another level. So yeah. I just want to talk about that. And yeah, that's, what? That's all I got for you guys tonight. That's the last thing on the list. Yep, we talked about Bodom, we talked about Ozzy, we talked about Joey Coco Diaz and Mr. Dean Delray. Incredible. Go listen to those podcasts. Go check them out. But yeah, that's going to be it from me tonight. Thank you all very much for listening. Hey, for the record, actually, I forgot to mention this. For the record, this is the first episode. Part of the reason why I wanted to do this was because I just set up the new crypt, at least its current evolution stage. I'm not sure if this is finalized yet. I don't know what else I'll do. We'll see. But at least in its current form, yeah, we've got a new crypt. We've got a crypt set up. That's part of the whole move thing. That's part of it that is finally done. So it's pretty nice. Not too shabby, that's for sure. So I'm excited for you guys to see it eventually. Maybe I'll post some pictures soon. But yeah, this is the first one out of the new crypt. So hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all so much for listening. Be sure to follow us, Bogwraith, and our boys over at Recorruptor on Bandcamp, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, fucking Patreon, Twitch, fucking iTunes, fucking all kinds of shit. Everything. Look for all of us on everything. And Recorruptor actually has a show coming up at Max Bar in Lansing Friday. It's next Friday, the 15th. Friday the 15th. At Max Bar in Lansing. It's going to be a great show. We will be in attendance, no doubt. We will also be at the Cannibal Corpse show. Cannibal Corpse, Die Out as Murder on next Wednesday at St. Andrews Hall in Detroit. So if you're going to be there, let us know. please do let us know. We'd love to see you. We'd love to give you a sticker. If you walk up to us, we will give you a sticker, we promise. So yeah. If you thank you so much for listening. Follow us on anything, and that'll be about it. We will be back again very soon. I love you all so much. Raise your horns, bang your fucking heads. I love you all to death. Good night.